What's up, Tokos? It's Trent, aka TradeMark here, and first and foremost, I just want to say thank you for all of the support on my most recent Reddit thread about gaming addiction. Several of you suggested that I join a support group in my area, and although I found a lot of substance abuse support groups, I didn't really see many that, well, I didn't see any that were related to video games, so I actually decided to create a Discord server to kind of do exactly that. The amount of support I've received is incredible, and many of you shared with me, reached out through Discord or Reddit and shared with me your own personal struggles and stories related to game addiction, and a lot of you overcoming that and kind of talking about what you've been able to do with your newfound time and things. And so all of your guys' courage kind of helped me to further commit to balancing my own life, and so I created this server to hopefully extend that opportunity to be able to talk to other people. And even if you're not struggling, if you want to just offer your support to other people, I will leave the link to that Discord server in the comments below. A lot of you have asked when I'm going to do the giveaway for my SWGOH account. Man, that is a lot of syllables. SWGOH. Whew. Too many syllables. CG, couldn't you have come up with a better game, an easier to pronounce game title? Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Squaw. For the remainder of this video, I will call SWGOH Squaw. Anyways, I'm going to do the video, the drawing for my Squaw account later today. So for those of you waiting for that, it's coming soon. And anyways, recently I was cleaning out my cloud drive of all my Squaw related stuff, and I found some pictures and videos that I was going to turn into like videos and guides and threads and stuff. And so I wanted to create this video to just kind of combine all of those things into this one final video, imparting you with some knowledge related to the game. Hopefully those of you who play it will find it useful. And it's also just kind of my way of being able to leave the community on a positive note that's not so heavy. So here we go. Let's get into it. The first up, what we have here, bam, 2.2 million ally points. Actually, 2.25 million ally points is approximately 9,000 Bronzium data cards worth of ally points, and I decided to open them all. Not myself. I didn't press 18,000 whatever times. No, I definitely wasn't going to do that. I actually just set up a macro in Nox, which was pretty easy, and went to sleep, and they all opened up themselves. It was incredible. But here's the results of those 9,000 Bronzium data cards. Whoop-bam! 67,000 character shards worth of Shard Shop currency. Pretty crazy amount of Shard Shop. Shard Shop. It's a tongue twister. Shard Shop currency from the character shards in the Bronzium data cards. And here are the gear rolls for that. So out of the 9,000 Bronziums, approximately 6,385 of those were gear rolls. About 70% was white gear, 23% green gear, blue gear was around 6.5%, and then less than 1% for purple gear. Now the actual gear that I needed, or I didn't have a surplus of, was less than 0.5% of the overall total gear rolls. That is what you call EA odds right there. So definitely the most valuable stuff that came out of the Bronzium data cards was the Shard Shop currency, since you can obviously buy gear with that stuff. Next of all, I wanted to talk about some tips for mods. Let me try and get this here. Sorry, I thought I already had this loaded. So let me pull it up here. I'm just gonna disappear real quick like. I'll actually post a link to the Reddit thread. We'll have all this information, but here's some general mod tip lines. Obviously, speed's king in this game. The best set bonuses to go for are typically speed, health, potency, crit damage, and crit chance. Always look for set bonus and primary/secondary stat synergy. So this is really important. If you want to get the best mods, you look for a fast secondary speed stat, and then you try and match up your primary stat and your set bonus synergy. Usually protection is a better primary stat than plus health percentage. Most damage characters are going to maximize their damage output by getting 66% crit damage. It's actually 216% crit damage because you have a base of 150%. But you get that 66%. 36% of it comes from the primary stat on your triangle slot and on your mod, and then 30% comes from the 4-set bonus for crit damage bonus. However, damage dealers that apply negative effects will often want to utilize a potency cross and possibly even a potency mod set instead of your crit chance set, or your instead of the offense percentage on your cross. And then finally, a tip is that it only costs 74k credits to level an MK5, a 5-dot mod to level 9, and I think it's only around 44k credits to get a MK4 4-dot mod to level 9. And at level 9, you can see 3 out of the 4 stat rolls for that mod. And so you see the majority of your stats you're going to have. And the other really nice thing about this is that it's cheap. Well, it's relatively cheap compared to going all the way to level 15. Level 15 is like 500,000 or something crazy for MK5 5-dot mod. So you can level mods that don't get very good rolls, or mods that you weren't planning on leveling up. Maybe they didn't get a secondary speed stat. They're still useful to take up to level 9 and then equip them on your secondary, your tier 2, tier 3 characters that you use in challenges or territory battles or territory wars on offense that are not like your primary characters. So something to consider there. And then finally, on the individual mod slots, on the left-hand side, you have your square, your diamond, your circle mod slots. Those are pretty much all the same priorities. You're looking for plus speed secondary stat, and this is for like when you're going through the mod store, what to look for, especially right now since you can buy mods with credits. And essentially, you're looking for plus speed secondary stat. 5 or 6 is ideal at level 1. And then tier, you're looking for gold or purple mods. That's because they have the highest potential to roll high speed stats. And then rarity, you're looking for MK5 mods, obviously. Now, as far as set bonus and stat synergy is concerned, again, you're basically looking for offensive secondary and primary stats to go along with an offensive set bonus. So, it makes more sense over here on the right side. So let's explain the right 3 slots. You have your arrow mod slot. The main priority for your arrow mod slot is just plus speed primary stat. It's really all you need. It doesn't matter what tier. It can be any rarity, any tier. MK4 only goes up to plus 26 speed, whereas MK5 goes up to plus 30. So you are going to lose out on a little bit of speed at MK4, but they're worth keeping even at MK3 or 4 if you happen to get them from a challenge. And then finally, the set bonus is the last thing to look at in the stat synergy there. But really, the main reason you're getting your arrow slot is to get that plus speed primary for the vast majority of characters. There are a few exceptions related to like auto taunting tanks that don't need speed. The next slot is your triangle mod slot, and this is probably, the triangle and the cross are your most difficult mod slots to get really good mods for, primarily because there's a lot of different primary stats that you can roll on your mod, so it's a lot harder to find synergy with your triangle and cross mods. The top priority is still to get a plus speed secondary stat. The higher the better, but even if it's like 3 at level 1, it's okay, because it's going to have opportunities to roll higher. You're looking for a set bonus and stat synergy as your second priority. So this is where it changes with triangles and crosses, is that you're looking for those synergies. So basically, a good example that I put up here in the top left is like a crit damage percentage triangle mod with that is also a set bonus for crit damage, and it has a secondary speed stat, is a very rare mod, and you should buy it regardless of what color or rarity it is, assuming it's for credits. And on the same token, for like a cross, having a potency set plus percentage potency set with a plus percentage potency primary stat on a cross is a valuable mod, or a plus percentage health set bonus with plus percentage protection primary stat for the circle, cross, or triangle. Basically, you're just looking for those synergies there, along with having the plus speed secondary stat. And ideally, it's going to be a gold or purple tier mod, but even blue or green, if they have these synergies, are worth getting. And rarity, again, if you get an MK4 or 3 rarity mod in a challenge, I wouldn't buy it from a store, but from a challenge, I would keep it and level it up there because they're difficult to acquire. So those are just some overall tips there to kind of keep in mind with mods. And then the last thing that I wanted to do for you guys was to actually show you maybe. No signal. This got no signal. There we go. So I wanted to show you guys how to win in arena with a meta EP Vader team against a faster Vader on the enemy team. So hopefully I can find one of these for you guys real quick here. Let's see. And just see under ranks. Yeah, I need to get up there towards the top because that is where the really fast opponents on my shard are that have really good mod sets. Don't you guys just love refreshing the arena? I just missed rank 9 right there. I just missed it. I just missed it. Dear Lord, this is one of the most annoying things of this game, and it is one thing that I will not miss about this game, is wasting my damn time hitting this refresh button over and over and over again in hopes that the best arena tier is going. Oh my God, this is aggravating. It already showed up and I freaking missed it. I'm getting really pissed off right now. All right, whatever, screw it. We're just going, people. We're just going. Drop the soap. Arena homie. So this is, I have faster mods than him, but I'll just show you basically the turn order. This is a pretty common enemy meta squad that you have right here. Nihilus and Scion are going to have synergy on my opponent's side. And let's assume that Vader has a faster speed. So if I didn't have Han in my team, their Vader would go first. He would use his AoE. He's use his Culling Blade. His whole team's going to get turn meter. he's going to pretty much crush me with Nihilus and EP. So the key to combating a faster EP meta team with Vader is to put in Han and stun their enemy Vader on turn 1. So now I've removed the ability for the enemy Vader to basically give his team turn meter. Now, right now, if I was to use Force Crush right here, it would put me in a bad position because I'm going to damage Scion, and whenever Scion gets damaged, Nihilus is actually going to get turn meter. So if you're against this meta team right here, you actually want to target one of these three instead of Scion. I'm going to go for an ability block on Nihilus. Hopefully that will land here. So that lands. And so now I've taken care of Nihilus using his Force Drain on turn 1. What I want to do now is take care of Scion. If I continue to damage the entire team, Nihilus is going to get turn meter. It's going to turn into problems later. So I'm going to fracture Scion, which removes him from the situation. So now I have Scion out of the equation, Nihilus out of the equation for turn 1, and now you notice right here, since my EP was a little bit faster, he's going to go first before their EP, which is good news. If you didn't, the other thing that you could potentially do is if the enemy team has a faster EP and Nihilus, you could pass turn meter with Thrawn to your Nihilus or EP, which would allow you to use your AoEs. So here we go. You want potency crosses on all three of the front line. Nihilus, EP, and Vader should all have potency crosses. So you notice that 3 out of 5 stuns land. And then I'm going to use Force Drain here to get cooldown increased on all 5 of the enemies. So now basically everyone has their cooldowns increased, and I have stun on Palpatine. So at this point, I have a few options, but I've pretty much won at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of burn through this. I'm just going to try and burn through priority targets like Thrawn, and anytime that Vader's Force Crush is up, I'm just going to use that. Keep giving the rest of my team turn meter. I'm going to apply ability block to players that are about up, like Nihilus. I'm just burning through the priority targets again. At some point, I should probably reapply the shock to Scion so he can't gain the taunt back. So I'm going to try and do that, and there's that. Now, finally, the enemy EP actually went, and you can see that it could create a problem there. But if I was actually paying more attention, I probably could have kept that from happening by applying the correct ability blocks and stuns on all the characters so that they didn't take their really damaging AoE abilities like that. But as long as you keep applying the ability block to the priority targets like EP and like Nihilus, you're going to be able to burn through these characters really fast. So I'm just going to go ahead, pretty much we can put it on auto at this point, but that's the concept for winning in the arena with against a faster enemy Vader. Shout out to John on my arena shard. He's the one that actually, I was having trouble with one of the players on our shard in beating him, and he explained that process. So it's very helpful. There are some meta teams that do pretty good against the EP meta, but I've found the most consistent ways to run this team. Now, when you go back into defense, however, I would suggest switching up, taking out Han. I don't think he performs as well on defense as he does on offense. So that is it for the arena. I'll put all this information into the Reddit thread, so if you guys want to read over this, you can go there. The last thing I just wanted to pop up here is I'm going to include a link to this spreadsheet right here. And so this spreadsheet is kind of like my it's just a collection of all the spreadsheets that I've created over time related to Galaxy of Heroes. There's some resource links on the first sheet. Here's a list of Sith raid teams and some different damages that they have. Here's some resource conversions for crystals. I don't remember what this was. This just says your ideal crit damage is 216%, which I explained earlier. These are your mod stat rolls, percent chances for different rarities. Here's the Bronzium gear odds I already talked about. Here's some TW team comps. Anyways, a lot of this stuff might not be useful, but if it is, I felt better about like cleaning slate by just putting it all together and releasing it. Hopefully someone utilizes something in here. Maybe not. It's just a way for me to feel better about leaving the game behind, is to like leave all of the knowledge and time that I've spent. And that was, you know, part of the reason I'm giving my account away as well, is because of the immense amount of time and money that I've spent on the game. I feel better about like leaving it in a sense that I'm like passing it on to someone else. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for me. You know, kind of as final words, I just, again, you know, thank you very much for the support, and good luck to everyone that's in the drawing. I'll reach out via Discord after I get a winner. And, you know, just kind of like a final note, just, you know, remember that if this can apply to anything, really, if anything in your life is detracting, when you really take a look at your life and you prioritize it, if anything is out of balance and detracting from something else that is more important to you, then maybe it's time for some self-reflection and readjustment in that regard. I had some people that were asking if I'm going to continue posting on my YouTube channel. I am going to still post on my YouTube channel. I've always been a gamer all my life, and I absolutely love games, and hopefully I can maintain a healthy relationship with games. I certainly need to remove myself from ones that are easy to that have certain, you know, monetization models, and especially certain, you know, kind of Skinner box type philosophies within them. But a couple of buddies of mine, we started playing some Steam games, and I just have a huge list of Steam games that are enjoyable for me. They require a lot less time investment to get some really fulfilling experiences related to those. And also, I've been really getting, in the past like 6 months or so, I've really gotten into home automation. I'm not sure if any of you guys are interested in home automation. Like, I've already done my lights and my locks, and I run Home Assistant on a Raspberry Pi. And so if any of you guys are interested in home automation, I think that is going to be, already been a hobby that I've filled a lot of my time with in the past year or so. And I mean, some of you guys might not have recognized actually from my post, because it did sound, you know, a bit, when I was talking about those negative consequences, I actually already made a major shift in readjustment in my life back probably, it's been over a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, when I, you know, going through a divorce, going through the different personal real life circumstances kind of makes you rethink and reprioritize your life. And that's, at that point, I stopped, well, actually even before then, I just stopped, became entirely free to play, became a lot more casual, joined a much more casual guild, and for the past year or so, I was only spending, you know, 30 to 60 minutes in game every day, which still sounds like a lot, but it really wasn't comparatively. And I was able to maintain that up until the Sith Raid content dropped, and I actually posted that thread prior to this most recent one. It literally just had this strange effect of just sucking me right back into the game, like full force. I was back to, you know, spending 4 to 6 hours on the game. It was insane. And so this was just my, luckily I recognized it really quickly, and this is my step towards a better life. And not a better life. I don't want to make it sound like people can't have a healthy relationship with Galaxy of Heroes, or with any game for that matter. I think it is entirely possible, and I think I had that for the most part in the past year. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a personal thing. You guys have to look at your own lives and decide whether you are spending, whether your life is prioritized in a manner where you're spending enough time to have good positive results in the areas of life that you want. And if any of you are not, or if you're struggling with balancing your life or video game addiction, I hope that you join us in the Discord server. I'll leave a link in the description below. Anyways, guys, Malo, aupito. Thanks. I say that. I don't know that many of you know what it means. It means thank you very much. I really appreciate everything that you guys have, the support you've given me, and I'm thankful for the small roles which we've been able to play in each other's lives, and it has been a learning experience. And I said that I regret the decisions I made, but ultimately those decisions have led me to where I am at right now, and have led me to the state of mind and the who I am today. And so I am grateful for the lessons I've learned over about myself and about my capacities. So anyways, guys, that's it for me. Thanks again, and good luck to you that are in the drawing. Peace.